So Dave, it is time to talk about some cool techniques here at the Yak Gear Rigs and Techniques. So I love topwater fishing.
I do too. It's my favorite thing to do, and I usually have, if I have 4 rigs, then 2 of them probably have some sort of topwater on them. But we're going to start by going through some of these topwater plugs that we have up here and what they do. We're going to start with the Chopo there. The Chopo makes a lot of noise. It's a prop bait. It's great for windy conditions. If it's real windy and the water's all messed up, this thing will get their attention even through a bunch of wind and the waves. It's good for open water. If you're out, you don't have to throw this kind of bait around cover, although it's best to probably throw it along a weed line or the outside of a bunch of lily pads, just run it right down the edge. But it'll also work in open water and open deep water when the fish are schooling up bait and stuff. So Chopo's good for that.
And certainly the saltwater fish aren't as,
correct.
That's crazy.
And like that, it might be good. It might, you might not want to throw that, like if it's really calm and quiet early in the morning. That's probably not be your first bait. You probably want to throw something with a little bit more finesse. But then we got the next is the Jaywalker, which is also a good noisy bait that walks the dog, covers the ground really good, which is what a lot of these topwater plugs are great for. You can cover ground, right, and get a couple of bites and say, okay, let's slow down and fish here because we got a couple of bites on the topwater here. But that has a crazy walk the dog action. It's easy to get started, and you can start slow. Start slow with it and go faster as the day goes.
And it comes in a 120, a 100, and a 90.
Comes in all the different sizes.
Yeah, so you can downsize if you wish.
Next, we're going to do this cane walker, and it's a good bait. It's got a heavy tail. You can make long casts with it. This is a bait that you can pop or walk with. So again, you can just pop it and work it real slow, which is if I'm bass fishing, I try to work all these things really slow. I start out real slow, because that's how you usually get a good bass bite when they're either not moving or they're moving really slow. Because usually that pop and then sit, pop and then sit, pop and then sit, and then he'll eat it. He'll eat it when it's just sitting.
Yeah.
And last but not least, there we got the little cane walker. And that's made for very light action. Actually, the cane walker is this one, all right? This one is
the drift
jumps
walker.
around. The drift walker.
Yeah.
It's more subtle. That's the one you want to throw early in the morning in that real quiet back area,
when
finesse.
The fish want a lot less noise.
Right. You don't want to, come in there like a banshee throwing that big Chopo when it's all nice and real quiet and stuff and nothing's going on.
Do we have a time for a little story?
Sure. I guess
one of the first times I ever experienced throwing the drift walker, this was a 3-hook model, which was a 120, not this small one. And I wanted to fish it. So I had one of my clients, I had one of my clients put it on because I was afraid he's going to throw it into bushes. We're fishing in the Everglades. Anyway, my point is the guy outfished me 6-1
with a little dude
when I was throwing a Jaywalker. But it was just because it was so much more quiet, and that's what the fish wanted that day.
You probably want to. I like to use braid when I'm using topwater plugs because I get a really good direct connection to the plug, and I like to use, if I'm using a spinning reel, I don't like to use a popper or anything with a spinning reel where I'm reeling slack line onto the reel all the time. If I pop and then reel in a bunch of slack, pop and reel in a bunch of slack, that can get you into trouble on your spinning reel sometimes because you can
get that loose line
loop over there. So I like to use prop baits and walk the dog baits, even stuff that I keep moving on a spinning reel. Now on a conventional reel, you can use your poppers and your walk the dog baits, just about anything. You don't have to worry about winding loose line on there because it's going to all cast out the next time without a problem.
I notice you have this on the new World Class too.
Yes, I do. Yeah, we're going to talk about that in new products.
We are?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Yeah. Always try to use a good leader, a mono leader when you're using these topwater plugs, because really limp, light. I say it's light. It's 20 pound, but any real light braid does not play well with treble hooks and/or eyelets.
Right.
It'll get all tangled up in there. Mono is great. It doesn't tangle up because it's not real limp. So I like to put like a 10 or 15, maybe 25 inch piece of leader on there, of 20 pound or more. I wouldn't use much more than 20 pound.
What a light outfit.
Yeah, that's a good little outfit right there. That little
Those are
squall.
some good tips, Bub. Really good tips.
No
I
worries.
love the tip on the braid and the loose line. Good job over here tonight. Excellent.
Good job, gentlemen. There's nothing like that Topwater trance.
Love it.
Love it.